Hey y'all, hey, so I can't see if anyone is on here, so just give me one moment. Why am I not live in my oh, why am I not live in my Okay, let me just share this to the group. Okay, 1 second, y'all. All right. So give me one moment, y'all. So I'm going live on StreamYard. First and foremost, I have not went live in so long. Secondly, I have not went live on StreamYard in so long. So okay, there we go. I was trying to figure out how to get that off. All right, so um this is the Single Mothers Weekly Credit Glow Up Masterclass. So I do plan on having these every single week to help single moms glow up in their credit and their finances. Okay. So as you come on, let me know where you're watching from. Drop a 1 if you're watching live, and drop a number 2 if you're watching a replay. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen because I'm excited to give y'all this tea this week. I'm excited. I'm excited. So let's share. All right. So let me make sure that I'm live on all my channels, and then we'll get into this broadcast, y'all, because I know how busy we can be as single moms. I know how busy we can be as single moms. Trust me, I was scrambling to get this presentation together for y'all, and I was scrambling to get to this live on time. So I want to give y'all this information and this tea because it's definitely life changing, and I want to let y'all go on about y'all night, okay? So, this week we're going to be talking about how to read and understand your credit report, a guide for single moms. So, again, this is the Credit Glow Up Masterclass. These are held every single Wednesday. You can find me right here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. My name is Latarsha. What did I do? Okay. So my name is Latasha, and welcome. Again, I'm Single Mom Success Co. And my mission is to empower single moms in their credit and their finances so that they can create new beginnings for themselves and their family. So that they can create new lives, whether that be relocating, starting a business, whatever the case may be, your credit and your money is going to be primary in that. Okay. So a little bit about me. I have a 15-year-old son. We moved from Alabama to Texas back in 2018. So we've been in Texas for about almost 7 years now. I just knew I wanted something differently. And when I moved, I didn't have a plan. I had bad credit. I didn't have any money, just enough money to move. But I had a plan, I had faith, and I had a dream that things were going to work out and things were going to, be differently for me and my son. So when we moved, we bounced around from apartment to apartment. I think we moved in about 2 different apartments within the first 2 months that we were here, due to me not having any savings, due to my credit being bad. And then at one point in time, we actually lived in a hotel and we were almost homeless. So now I'm I'm here before you right now because I kept going and I knew I wanted something better. So I started researching my credit. I started learning about money. And I changed my situation around for the better by improving my credit and leveraging my credit. And then I launched a credit and money business. So that's a little bit about me. What we will be talking about today is we're going to talk about why your credit report matters. We're going to be talking about the key sections of a credit report, what a credit report is and where to get it, and how to identify errors on your credit report. So, I do remember that the comments could be, give me 1 second. I do remember that I could see comments somewhere, but I can't see them now. But if you have questions, just save them. You can drop them in the chat. If I can find the chat. Just drop them in comments. There we go. Okay, so yeah, drop any questions you may have and I'll answer your questions at the end. All right, so let's get into it. So why your credit what is a credit report? So you would be surprised at how many people don't know or don't understand their credit reports. And this was me. But a credit report is a detailed record of your credit history. So you know how your kids have a report card? Well, a credit report is an adult report card. So it's our adult report card. So that credit report is going to include your personal information, such as your address, your employment. It's also going to include payment history. So the lenders and creditors are going to see how you pay your bills. And it also includes inquiries. So inquiries is when you apply for new credit. They'll also be able to see that. So your credit report is used by lenders to assess your credit worthiness. Now, where can you get a credit report? So there's many different credit monitoring services out here. So you can choose which one to use, but here are some that I recommend. You can get your free report from annualcreditreport.com. You can get one per year from each bureau. You can also, again, as mentioned, use credit monitoring services like Credit Karma, which is really popular, but it will only show you your TransUnion score and it will show you your Equifax score. And you can also use Experian. Experian will show you your Experian score, or you can pay to get access to all three reports and all three scores. Or the best out of these three would be my FICO, because it will show you your FICO scores. And this is what most lenders use. They use your FICO scores as opposed to Vantage scores, which is what you see in Credit Karma. So you always want to check your reports from all three credit bureaus. Again, most of us use Credit Karma. Credit Karma will only show you Equifax and TransUnion. So you want to also get access to Experian if you're using Credit Karma. So what are the key sections of, how to identify errors on your credit report? I think I skipped a slide. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Present full screen. Okay, credit report, where to get it. Okay, I did skip a slide. So I want to make sure that I'm not leaving out any important information, all right? So I had to go back. So key section of your credit report. So you got your personal information. That's going to be your name, your address, your social security number. They even have your employment on your credit reports if you haven't noticed. And then you have your accounts. So you're going to have the open accounts, you have closed accounts, you have loans, and you have balances. So this is what the creditors see when they pull your credit report. So then you have your payment history. So this is a record of on-time and late payments that shows on your credit report. Credit inquiries, as we mentioned before in the previous slide, this is a list of who has checked your credit. So when you go apply for a car, and all of the different banks that pull your credit, it's going to show on credit inquiries. And then you have public records. So you got bankruptcies, collections, and they're no longer placing liens. Yeah, so tax liens are no longer on credit reports, but there are other type of liens that can be in that public record section. So this is the fun part. This is my favorite part. You like, okay, Latasha, you told me how to read my credit report. Thank you for that. Very informational. So how do I identify errors on my credit report? So there are a lot of inaccurate reporting that goes on credit reports. So the first thing you want to look for is incorrect personal information, such as your name, address, or social security number. If there's misspellings in your name, if they have your middle name spelled incorrectly, if they have a nickname on a credit report, if they have old addresses, and especially if your social security number is incorrect, because that means that there may be some type of fraud going on, or of course, there's errors on your report, okay? And that can be easily removed. So I know you've been seeing, on Facebook and TikTok that if you remove an address, then it will help you repair your credit, which it will. So we will get into like disputing techniques and how to remove items next week. So if you're watching a replay, make sure you type 2. If you're here live, make sure you type a number 1 in the chat. But next week, we'll get into disputing. So I'll teach you how to get these items off your credit report. But I'll give you one tip right now as far as the address goes. So when you see people saying that you can remove old addresses from your credit report to repair your credit, you can. And the reason being is because you have addresses that are attached to accounts. So let's say I moved. Let's say I stayed at 123 Jones Street, right? And I had a credit card while I was at that address. So the credit card company reported that address when they reported that card. But I no longer live at that address, and I didn't pay that credit card bill, so it's not reporting as a collection on my credit report. So when you're hearing remove all addresses, which is a dispute and a credit repair technique, then if you write to let the credit bureau rules know through a dispute letter that, hey, this address is inaccurate and I need you to remove it from my credit report. They're going to, sometimes they'll give you a hard time, but the reason you want that address removed from your credit report is because it is linked to that collection, that credit card collection. And once that address is removed from your report, it's also going to remove any accounts that's connected to that address. So that's why it's important to remove all addresses, remove all of that old personal information from your credit report, because it can cause collections and charge-offs and anything else that's attached to that address to fall out. And that's why the credit bureaus give you a hard time when you're disputing to remove old addresses, because they know this. But don't let up. Dispute those old addresses and you'll see faster results when you're trying to repair your credit. So another way, another way to identify error on your credit report is to look for accounts that you don't recognize. So this could be a case of fraud. Someone probably opened an account in your name, but search for accounts you don't recognize. You also want to review payments that were marked late, but were actually on time. And even if they, were marked late, but and that they were late, it's the credit bureau's job to prove that those payments were actually late. Look, I'm giving y'all some tea tonight, so I hope y'all taking notes. I hope y'all coming on and taking notes, and I hope y'all do something with this information. So another way to identify errors on your credit report is you want to look for incorrect balances or duplicate accounts. And I see this a lot, when I'm helping clients with their credit, even when I repair my own credit. There were incorrect balances. I had a charge off from a repossession, and a balance was incorrect. And they had been reporting this for a long time, which made it, kind of hard for me to get another car. So that was one of the reasons why, that was one of the ways that I was able to get that disputed. So you also want to look for unauthorized credit inquiries. This could be a sign of someone applying for something in your name, or even if you apply for something that you want to remove, then make them prove to you that it should be on there, that you did it. Okay. I keep skipping slides. How do I go back? Y'all ain't supposed to be seeing this right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Present. Drop a thumbs up in the chat if this information is helping you. So if you're watching a live right now and this information is helping you, drop a thumbs up in the chat. And if you come on and you watch the replay and this information helps you, drop a thumbs up in the chat for me. Okay. So let me get back to where I was on this presentation. I don't know why it keeps. Okay, I guess we were supposed to be right there. Okay, so with that being said, it's homework time. So this week, I want y'all to go and pull your free credit report. Hey, Shaquita girl, I'm just not seeing your comment. Let me put your comments on the screen, girl. I got to put your comments on the screen. Paper and pencil ready, taking notes. I'm happy. Thank you for always tuning in and supporting me. I hope this information helps you and bless you. But homework time. So I want you to pull your free credit report at annualfreecreditreport.com. All right. So once you pull your credit report from annualcreditreport.com, is that the? Yeah, so once you pull your free credit report, if you have not gotten a credit report this year, once you pull it, I want you to review it for everything that we just discussed in this meeting, okay? Review it, get to know the areas that's on your credit report. Get to understand how creditors and lenders report things to your credit report. So that way you know if something is incorrect, and that way you'll be on top of it. So the quicker you know, the more knowledge you have, the more power you have to be able to dispute that thing from your credit report. Because what we don't understand is that credit is so important, y'all. It's so important. And I remember when I was younger, my mom, she didn't know. She was like, before I even went to college, she was like, don't get no credit cards. And what I do, just because she told me not to, I got a credit card. My very first credit card they sent me, they sent college students credit cards, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So my very first credit card that they sent me, I thought it was free money because I didn't understand credit, because my mama told me don't get no credit card. But like I said, she didn't know. But I took it to TJ Maxx and I spent half of it on clothes and shoes, and I was responsible with the other half, a little responsible, because I had furniture at that time and I only owed like $120, $130 on it or something. But it was a $300 credit card. and I used the other half to pay that furniture off. So I was kind of responsible, I guess you could say. But I never paid that back. Right. So I never paid that back. And that was the beginning of my bad credit story. I got a car, a brand new car. This was back in 2000. I went to college. This was back in 2006, 2007. I got a brand new 2006 car off the lot, 6 miles, and did not pay another car note on it, y'all. Not another one. They came and found the car like 3 years later. And they repossessed it when I was pregnant with my son. So that's my first repo on my credit. And we're not going to talk about all the broken leases I don't have from moving, from place to place. And, hard times as a single mom, not being able to afford rent and you trying to move before you get evicted. That was my story. And I didn't understand how credit, which they don't teach us this stuff in school. And I didn't understand how important it was, because if I did, and I'm pretty sure if you did, if you're watching this or if you're going to watch this in the future, if you understood the power of credit, then you wouldn't have messed it up as quick as you did, right? Drop a thumbs up in the chat if I'm telling the truth, all right? But that was my credit story. But when I moved here to Texas and I realized that, okay, LaTarsha, you're 30. I was 30 at the time. You gotta get your money in order. Like you can't keep moving from apartment to apartment, almost homeless, because you're not focused on building your finances. You're not focused on fixing your credit. All you're focused on is working so that you can survive, which I get. Again, we all single moms here. You working a job where you're waiting on a paycheck every week, right? But that's all you're focused on. You're not focused on building something. You're not focused on creating something to where you can create an additional income flow. Like me, I was focused on working 2 or 3 jobs at a time because that job money guaranteed. But I mean, that's all it is. It's guaranteed. And then you gonna look up 2 or 3 years later, and you don't went around, and you still going around in a rabbit hole. So that's why it's my mission to encourage single moms to work on your credit. It's like this homework I gave y'all. Just go get your free credit report right now. It could be overwhelming, but take it one step at a time. Just get that free credit report. See what's on your credit. See if you see any of the errors that I gave y'all in this presentation. Circle them, and then we're going to circle around next week if you have your credit report, and we're going to talk about how to dispute those things, okay? But if you don't have your credit report, if you don't have it by next week because they have to mail it, then we have these things every week at 7 p.m. So, yeah, we got to, get our money and our credit and finances in order. And, just because we're single moms don't mean we can't do it. It's been done every day. If you go on TikTok, you see those single moms just posting videos of them cleaning their house and talking and making thousands of dollars, getting new houses. We living in a technology age, so it's possible. But it's going to start with you. It's going to start with your mind. It's going to start with you doing what you got to do behind the scenes first, which is get your finances in order, your credit in order, and building. All right. So did y'all have any questions? I see a couple people. Did y'all have any questions for me? Q&A, any questions regarding what we talked about? Any questions about what's going on with your credit? And it's okay if you don't want to type it in the chat, but just know, that's another thing I wanted to mention. Because this is a safe space for single moms, these videos are not going to be live on YouTube anymore. I wanted to do it on YouTube now because I wanted to kind of bring awareness to those who may not have seen my videos or my shorts that I posted about the weekly Credit Glow Up Masterclasses. But going forward, you're going to have to be in the Facebook group. And Shaquita, I don't think you're on Facebook, but let me see. you can so hit this link right here and go ahead and grab the Boss Mom Blueprint, and that's going to add you to the email list. So then I'll send you out a link every single Wednesday or Tuesday, just reminding you, because these lives going forward, it's going to be in a private webinar. So if you're not in a Facebook group, girl, that's good. If I didn't have this mission to do what I'm doing now, I probably wouldn't have a social media either. But if you're not in a Facebook group, or if you're not on the email list, then you won't be able to join the live, because I do want this to be a safe space only for single moms. I don't want it to be live. I don't want it to be public. What else? And that's really it. That's all I have for y'all. I'll let y'all get back to y'all evening. I know how busy the evenings can be, especially after work, after a long day. So I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all in my next live. Okay. I had a brain fart there. All right, love y'all, ladies.